welcome. This is going to be another shoulder or thoracic spine exercise for today, where we start to work on getting the shoulder in the overhead position. So maybe yours looks a little bit more like this, or it's a little bit less. So that means that we need to work on our shoulder flexion, which is what this exercise is going to help us with. So a good way to kind of test it is to sit any way you like. Think about tucking your pelvis, so you're finding a tuck as opposed to an arch or a neutral pelvis. So you're tucking that pelvis under, and then just try to raise your hand to bring it in line with your ear. You notice I have a lot of range here, so most of us, we're just trying to get in line with your ear, and if you can go a little bit farther, that's awesome too, but make sure you're keeping everything else nice and still and the pelvis tucked. All right, so this is one of my favorite exercises to help gain that control. If you're a little bit more advanced, you might want to have a foam roller around, because I'm going to be showing a more advanced variation in a hot moment. Okay, so we're going to come into a child's pose. So knees can be wide or narrow. I say for most of us, if your hips aren't warmed up yet, I would go nice and wide, send the toes together. Hips are going to come back, and then you're going to begin to walk the hands out towards the top of your mat. From here, you're going to set the head down on the ground. And if your head is not down on the ground, this is where I would place a pillow, a block, a book, literally anything you have in your home that can help elevate the ground up to your head, because that's going to be an important part of this exercise. So use a pillow, a block, a book. All right, so I'm going to set that head down on that object or on the floor. And then I'm going to think about just looking straight down towards the ground. You're going to begin to walk one hand out, making it longer and straighter towards the top of your mat. And then from there, you're going to see if you can lift the hand off the ground, keeping that head pressing down. So you're just going to hold that arm up. We're going to try to go somewhere between 2 to 10 seconds here, and then you're going to set it down. So again, we're kind of thinking about pushing into that end range, keeping our weight right over our midline. You might notice you want to lean towards one hip or the other. So keep that weight nice and centered and begin to lift that hand up, pressing into that end range. And you're going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. So walk that other arm out nice and long, nice and straight, and then keeping the weight in the midline, head pressing down, you're going to begin to press into that end range. So no matter where you are with your mobility, if you're pushing into your end range of these will be hard. Because our end range will always be hard because it's our end range. All right, so we're pushing here, holding somewhere between 3 to 10 seconds. These are not easy, and then you can set them down. Those are feeling pretty good. You can do the same thing with both arms at a time. So we're going to reach the arms out and then begin to lift. Very good. I would say do somewhere between 6 to 15 of those, either single arm or double arm, especially if you have a workout where you're going to go ahead and lift something overhead. They can help you have the correct shoulder mobility, the correct shoulder flexion in order to be able to do that safely without compensations. All right, I'm going to go ahead and show you the harder variation. So this is called reach, roll, lift. You're going to place the sides of your hands on it, pinky side down, and then we're going to begin to roll that out. So the arms are going to get nice and straight. The head is going to come down to the ground just like before. And then you're going to try one arm, keeping your weight over the midline, trying to just lift the arm into the end range. And then same thing, I like to roll it back out. Try it again with the other arm, weight over the midline. You're lifting up, setting it down. And then you can also do the same thing with both hands. You can roll it out, and then you can lift up. We're pressing into the end range. These are quite challenging. So if you're new to these, I wouldn't start here. But if the ones on the floor feel like you could challenge them a little bit, go ahead and give this one a try. Once again, these are great for pressing anything overhead, shoulder press, military press, snatch, anything like that. It requires the shoulder mobility to be able to get the arm at least next to your ear. Remember, we have, you can always create more mobility in your shoulders, as you see here, as you practice exercises like this. So go ahead and give this one a try. Let me know if you have any questions, and be sure to try this before your next workout where you're pressing anything overhead, and let me know how it goes. Have a good one.